Give me one reason why Hunter could not be Hottie. If you come in crazy condition like him,
if I showed up, as peeled as Hottie, all bets are off. But not just someone who gets in good shape. That's like a once in a generational kind of conditioning.
I'm just gonna give you that fatherly advice. Don't take the posing as, okay, I'm good, be great.
I've had good posing routines, but I've never had a great one. The energy that I do have, I devote to being in posing shape for what matters. Being able to show up and absolutely, stand like a statue goes a lot farther than having a good posing routine.
Do you love posing routines?
My dad fell in love with more of the artistic side of bodybuilding. I fell in love with the training and the brutal hard work. Yes, I want to present myself in an artistic manner, but what I love about bodybuilding is being in the trenches with my friends, looking at my physique and going, okay, that's shit, and then spending the next 8 months making it not shit. I think that's cool.
I used to have to pay Kenny Wallach to put me through this posing, put me through this routine, because I'm not going to do it on myself. But if I pay you $80, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, Hunter, I have to have my moment. I was talking to Chris. I asked Chris, do I criticize people too much? He says, no. This is good. So he gave me a good green. For me, it's always constructive criticism. I'm going to tell you step by step. When I was competing in the 90s, I could not wait to see your father's next posing routine.
Mm-hmm.
Not just me, everybody, because every routine was different, state of the art. He changed the sequences, poses. It was just, wow. I'm going to tell you this. So I tried to emulate him a little bit, but I was nothing close to that level. 20 years later, now I'm looking at my posing routines. It's, shit, I made this mistake. Oh, shit, I should have done this transition. These kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, I watch your routines time after time again, and you're a great poser and you do this thing, but you don't have your father's element of perfection in sense of those little things that matter, right? The in-between poses, just like sometimes relaxing and even arm position, hand position,
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would make a hell of a difference. You're that up-and-comer that can, go all the way to the top. I said this 3-4 years ago. Give me one reason why, Hunter could not be Hottie. Like 3-4 years ago. I don't know if you've seen, your complete, the structure, shape, everything, right? So if you come in crazy condition like him and
I was gonna say, Hottie is a whole different level of conditioning.
Yes,
but I appreciate the vote of confidence. No, it's one of those things. It's a huge if. If I showed up, as peeled as Hottie was, yeah, absolutely, all bets are off. But with how hard Hottie gets, credit where credit's due. That's not just someone who gets in good shape. That's like a once in a generational, holy shit, that man's inside out peeled kind of conditioning.
It is, and I said this just recently. I would never doubt Hottie Chopin. He's always, above and beyond anything you expect. The last outing in Arnold Classic was just.
I was gonna say I got to talk about that Arnold Classic, man. To me, that's one of the coolest things I've seen.
Yeah.
To get knocked off at the Olympia and then to respond the way that he did. That's a champion's response. It's cool as an athlete to see that. To get knocked down, but then to get up like he did. That was really cool.
But again, and this is not also the kiss ass moment. It's like, man, you're kissing ass and you criticize. I'm not. Genetic structure, when you look at, okay, I always say, shut the lights and look at the silhouette. Just see yours and his, right? Is this comparable? Very much so, right? Very much so. Size-wise, structure-wise, it's very, very comparable. Now, your job is to get in this kind of crazy conditioning. And then I think you have that little extra Labrada genetics that if you really, I don't know, if you would talk to your dad, what made a difference? He didn't have a moment of relaxation or a move that didn't make sense. A lot of guys, good posers, do one pose and then dramatic pose, but that second pose did not supposed to be there after this pose. You're changing dynamics of everything.
He was a master of transition for sure.
Master of transition, logical transitions, right? And then the way if he stands, stability and angles and hip and raised shoulder or level shoulder, these kind of things. So I've seen with you that, yeah, you're a great poser. And when I analyzed, I was doing the same thing. I thought I was a good poser. I know how to pose. And I hit this million times, but I didn't really think like, oh, shit, I could have done this just a little bit better. Why didn't I try it? Now, 20 years later, I say, why didn't I try this? This would make perfect sense. Anyway, this is what I wanted to tell you. You just, maybe you pose to do the job and finish it. You don't pose to impress the world. They're going to say, I will forever and ever remember this routine, like your dad's routine. I can find you 100 guys. They're going to tell you each posing routine. Every time Lee came and what was his routine, what was the music, what was the moves that is being replicated a million times. So I'm just going to give you that fatherly advice, tight up the notch and don't take the posing as, okay, I'm good, be great.
No, absolutely. And I'll be the first one to say my dad's constantly in my ear about that. I'll be the first one to say that I've had good posing routines, but I've never had a great one. I'm just going to call it how I see it from an athlete's perspective with us, in the trenches, with the shape that they want us to show up in and the way that we feel those final weeks, the energy that we do have. A lot of us focus on making sure that we can go those 3 or 4 rounds that we know they're going to put us through at prejudging and finals. It's like in my mind, the energy that I do have, I devote to being in posing shape for what matters. That being said, I'm all for posing being a scored thing. I think it should be. They start scoring the posing round. I think you get incredible routines very quickly. But in the current state of things, I think being able to show up and absolutely, stand like a statue through 3, 4, 5 rounds of mandatories goes a lot farther than having a good posing routine with the judges and the general public.
Well, here's a good question. Do you love posing routines?
This is where I differ from my dad a lot. I think my dad fell in love with, the more of the artistic side of bodybuilding and the physique presentation and all of that. Me coming from the football and athletic background, I fell in love with the training and the brutal hard work. The stage for me is a opportunity to show that work that I've been doing for the last year and, how far I was able to take things. Like, yes, I want to present myself in an artistic manner, but what I fell in love with bodybuilding was, the brutal hard work and, presenting what I've been doing for the last year in the gym. Getting shaved down and getting in trunks and, doing all that. That's not what I love about bodybuilding. That's how I'm competitive in bodybuilding. But what I love about bodybuilding is being in the trenches with my friends and training and, improving and looking at my physique and going, okay, that's shit. And then spending the next 8 months making it not shit. I think that's cool.
Shaving sucks. Shaving is the worst part of bodybuilding of all time. When Lexi's like shaving my back and like in my inner thigh, I'm like ready to quit. I'm like, this is stupid. I can't deal with this. I hate it. But no, dude, I'm with you 100%. And I know Milos is going to chime in. Like with the posing is, I knew posing was important. I liked the posing, but as far as like going the extra mile and the effort, the motivation I had to do transitions in the routine, that was not on my priority list. I know it matters. It makes a big difference. It obviously also shines within you as a competitor, meaning you might be remembered as in like, oh, his posing routines were insane. And I understand that part, but I had so much trouble doing it myself. I used to have to pay Kenny Wallach to like, dude, put me through this posing, put me through this routine, because I'm not going to do it on myself. But if I pay you $80, then I'm going to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm here.